Hello there, what is going on everybody? Today we are previewing a Jyn Erso Commander expansion for Star Wars Legion. Surprising to see Jyn as a commander. You kind of would have thought her more of an operative, but I guess she did kind of take command of that mission in Rogue One towards the end. Alright, I'll buy it. When I saw that she was coming, I thought for sure operative, but she's a commander, and we're going to get this preview going today, so very cool. We're going to look at all this stuff that they showed us. She seems very interesting. She plays very differently, so that's cool. I do want to remind you guys there is still time to enter to win the lightsaber giveaway. I'm giving away a Star Wars Force FX lightsaber. All you have to do to win one of those is be a subscriber and leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite unit in Legion is in the comments section. All right, guys. More details for that on Crabbok.com because that'll be in the form of a gift card. I'm not actually going to mail it to you. I'll just give you the gift card and you can do whatever you want with it. All right, so let's take a look at Jyn Erso. All right, so here we go. She's all painted up. She's got a reconfigurable weapon that's going to come with her, because if you look at her unit card, she's just got the melee attack, which is interesting because you're like, wait, she's got no ranged weapon? Well, it's a card, and you're going to flip it over. We'll look at that. She's going to have her command cards, and yeah, they have her painted up there pretty well. And this weird thing is, like, this scarf she's got going on looks almost like a crab claw, and then we can see here from her little rendering. I love that they do these now. You can see it's not actually a crab claw, it's just two separate pieces that's wavy. But yeah, so she's got a pretty good pose there. I feel like they're getting a little better in these humanoid faces, these actual faces that they're doing, because Legion has always done real better on the masks than on the people's faces themselves. And this one, granted, this is just the rendering, but it looks like it'll be pretty good. We'll have to wait and see until some of you guys out there start getting your stuff painted and photographed and uploaded to like Reddit or the Legion Discord or something like that. There's a lot of really, really good painters out there. And I love to paint this game myself, but you guys are so much better. So let's take a look at the Jyn Erso card, because she has got a lot of really cool stuff. Oh, let's zoom in. There we go. All right, so she has command, she's got training, she's got equipment, and she's got the new gun icon, so you can give her her weapon. Only 130 points, so she's kind of in this middle range, where she's a little more expensive than some of our other commanders, but she's not as expensive. She's no Jedi, she's not as expensive as Luke. I left the keyword there, Stardust, as well. So she's got the collapsible tonfa. She's got 4 black, and it's suppressive. So granted, suppressive is going to actually matter here because only ranged attacks naturally give suppression. So if she does hit you, she's going to suppress you. And that's pretty much, I think, the only time a melee attack is going to suppress. So that's kind of cool. She's got speed of 2. She's got great surges. She got surge to crit for offense. She's got surge to defense. She's got a white defense die. She's got 3 courage and 6 health. So the 3 courage is actually pretty good for her. I wouldn't have expected 3, since 3 is a little more rare. And in the movie, it seemed like she was like, I don't care, I don't want to fight this fight, whatever. But she did go into Scarif, like she walked into the lion's den there. So I guess you can see that. So let's look at her abilities, because this is where this character really is going to shine. First off, abilities we've already seen. Nimble is good. You spin a dodge, you get another dodge back. Sharpshooter 1, you're going to reduce enemy cover, so it's really good at shooting people that have suppression and that are counting on getting some cover for that. You kind of get rid of the bonus that they have from that. Quick thinking she has at the top, so she can take an action to get an aim and a dodge token. That is the action arrow right there. That means it takes a full action to do that. It's not one of those free action symbols. But what that means is, instead of taking an aim, she can get an aim and a dodge. Instead of just taking a dodge, she can get an aim and a dodge, which is good. Not very many characters are often able to get both an aim and a dodge. So this is actually pretty nice. And that's going to factor into some of her command cards, as we're going to see a little bit later. So it's just a good overall ability to have. And it also kind of gives you, if you're in that situation where you're going to get shot, because you can only do the same action twice, or rather, you can only do the move is the only action, you can do the same action twice, you can dodge and then use quick thinking if you need to get like 2 dodges, right? Because you'll get an aim and a dodge and then a dodge. So you could do something like that. Or maybe you do quick thinking and standby or something like that. I don't really see her doing a whole lot of standby. I think she wants to move and she wants to be all up in your opponent's business. But Danger Sense 4 is her really cool ability. You may choose not to remove your suppression tokens. Okay? Sometimes that's actually advantageous, especially if the character has a courage of 3. Sometimes you want to just keep that 1 so you can make sure you get cover, some light cover at least. But there's more. While defending against a ranged attack, roll 1 extra defense die for each suppression token you have, capping out at 4. So if she gets really suppressed, she digs down into the dirt like really, really deep, and you can potentially now, like, this is a great ability. This makes up for the rebels having white dice like almost across the board. This is a really good ability. Danger Sense 4, I mean, she's going to be really tough to kill, which means you need to attack her the first time. You need to kill her right away the first time, because if you'd miss, she gets a suppression. Now she's getting an extra die every time she's attacked with a ranged attack. Oh, you miss again? Now it's harder to hit her because now she's got light cover, right? And then she's rolling an extra die and has defensive surge, right? So now it's so much harder. And did she spend a dodge token too because she did quick thinking? Well, she gets another dodge back because of nimble, right? So all of these things giving her more and more suppression. She wants to keep suppression, right? And of course, unless she gets like a ridiculous amount, ideally she wants to have like 2 suppression, right? Maybe if she gets attacked and gets a third one, she has a pretty good chance of rallying to get rid of 1, so she still gets her 2 actions, but you would need to get her up to 6 suppression before she would panic. And that's not that likely, because somebody's going to rally and they're going to roll get rid of a couple. So just really hard to kill, it seems like. And this is nice to see this for a rebel. It's going to be kind of hard to kill. You really you're going to have to resort to melee. Like Darth Vader is going to have to walk up there and slice her down. She's not going to get any of that because this danger sensibility is only triggering off of ranged attacks. So the key to defeating a hard to kill character like Jyn Erso, or anybody who has danger sense, I believe the Pathfinders are getting another type of danger sense as well, you're going to need to use melee if you definitively want to kill them, or just a really strong ranged attack that gets them the first time. So that's what it looks like. That's strong. That's strong. And of course, you're going to want to probably use duck and cover on her. So if you do attack her and she doesn't have suppression, she can be like, oh yeah, boom, I'll take the suppression, boom, and then I cancel one of your dice and I get to roll an extra one. So good, so good. So she looks really, really nice, and I think I'll definitely want to use low profile with her. All right, so let's look at what else we got here. Let's look at her ranged weapon, right? Because this is Jyn Erso only, so she's the only one that's going to be able to use this. She's got the A180 pistol config, range 1 to 2, pierce 1. Okay, this is actually a really good. Now I'm seeing why she's a little more expensive than a lot of other Rebel commanders. She's got surge to crit already. All right, and this is a free weapon for her. So that 130 might not have looked that good, but look at what else she gets. She's getting this. This is basically built into her card. So why didn't they just print this on because it's flippable? Because you can flip it over for the A180 rifle config. So here she's at a situation. When you recover, you may flip this card. So she may be somebody that you want to recover. If she does find herself in that situation where she's getting shot and shot and shot and shot, and she's got 4 suppression, maybe you do want to recover. I've got too much, especially if you have duck and cover, so you can at least get that 1 die back next time you're attacked. That's really good. And she could even recover and then choose not to remove her suppression tokens. I suppose. Granted, I don't think it's going to let you. I don't believe you'll be able to say, oh, I've got 6 suppression tokens, I'm going to recover, I'm going to get rid of all but 1. I don't think you can do that. I think it's an all or nothing. Because it says if you're choosing not to remove your suppression tokens, it doesn't say you may not choose not to remove some of your suppression tokens. So I think if you're going to choose not to do it, you have to choose not to remove any. I don't think you can just get rid of 1 or 2. You have to rely on rally to get rid of some. But yeah, the A180 is 2 red and a white, so you're getting 3 dice. And you pretty good chance of getting damage through, plus the Pierce 1. And plus, you've got Sharpshooter 1 that's built into the unit already. And Surge to Crit that's built into the unit already. So this is going to be a nice, solid, decent ranged attack. At longer range, we got range 1 to 3 for the A180 rifle config. Black dice are still pretty good, especially with Surge to Crit. And you've also got Pierce 1. So basically, she has the option of going range 3 with black dice or range 2 with red dice. She still gets a white die each time. She still gets Pierce 1 each time. It's pretty solid. Pretty solid, especially when you compare it to Some other commanders like Veers, who's I think he's just rocking the white dice. He's still got Pierce and he's got Search to Crit, but he doesn't have the black, right? I'm doing that from memory. I might be wrong, but she's got a good ranged attack, and the fact that she can re-trigger it is pretty nice, depending on if she wants to be close or long range. Which she's also going to get some command cards. So let's take a look at her command cards. First, we're going to start with her 3-pip. It's going to be 3 troopers. So it's pretty diverse. It doesn't have to be her. Also, and that's one thing that's kind of nice. A lot of command pips, and this is complete the mission, right? And it's good Death Star, or not Death Star, but like when they're getting the Death Star plans, rather. Or maybe she's getting different plans. Maybe she's actually finding your internet search history. Better clear your cache. Jyn Erso is going to come get you. All right, so she's this is 3 troopers. Doesn't have to be her, but it can be any trooper, right? That doesn't mean it has to be core. So she can also give this to special forces or support if they happen to be a trooper. So she's going to gain low profile, okay, which is really good, especially if you've got duck and cover. Really, really good if you got duck and cover. Like I said, I think duck and cover is going to be almost mandatory with her. So she's going to gain low profile automatically, even if you don't issue her the order. When a friendly trooper is issued an order, again, you got 3 troopers, and this can be her. It doesn't say on other friendly trooper. When a friendly trooper is issued an order, it may gain a suppression token. Okay, so maybe you do want to gain a suppression token. When a friendly trooper with a face-up order token activates, during its activation, it cannot become panicked or suppressed. Panicked is unlikely with Jyn being around, but suppressed is almost always going to happen, right? This is big. This is cool. At the end of that unit's activation, it may remove a suppression token. This is just so good. This may be one of the best 3-pips. I mean, it's not broken. It's not completely overpowered. It's just solid. It's solid. First off, it's very flexible with just being 3 troopers. It's not 3 units, but Rebels aren't running that many vehicles anyway. Maybe that'll change once the land speeder comes out, but you're almost always going to issue orders to troopers, and it's flexible enough that it can be special forces, troopers, it can be Wookiees or whatever, it can be Pathfinders, especially if they have danger sense already. This will be really good for Pathfinders. So, yeah, I mean, or even if it's just regular Rebel troopers that are already at risk of being suppressed, or maybe somebody already has a whole bunch of leftover, like your opponent's running mortars or something like that, like with the ATST mortar launcher and they like suppressive weapons. These units can't be issued, or it can't be panicked, and it can't be suppressed. So, now granted, that means they're also, if they're not suppressed, right? Well, if they have a suppression, it's still going to raise their cover. You don't have to be suppressed to have your cover. So you're still going to get the cover bonus. Unless I'm incorrect here, I believe you're still going to get the cover bonus, but you're not going to lose an action. And that's really a big deal, especially in the late game. Or mid-game, I would say from anywhere from mid to late game, when you're trying to get those objective tokens and somebody suppresses you before you need to like run in and claim, or claim and get out. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me in a game where I needed 2 actions and that suppression happened and it's just stopped me from winning the game. So I really like this card. I don't think it's like super OP, but I think it's balanced and just good enough to be very, very flexible and good in almost every scenario. And it's doing more than just the 3 trooper thing. It's also giving Jyn low profile. Pretty good card. All right, our 2-pip is Trust Goes Both Ways. Now, this is her, and 1 trooper. Now, I like this artwork. This is a really good likeness. It just really captured her. I think it really did. It captured her likeness from this. So it's a really solid artwork on this piece. And just the way she's handing the gun. This is when she gave the gun to K2SO. Jyn Erso gains Inspire 2, so that's already a good ability, especially when you're racking up a lot of suppression. When Jyn Erso issues an order to another friendly trooper, that unit gains Teamwork Jyn Erso. So again, teamwork, if you remember with Han and Chewie, is that like when one of you gets a dodge or an aim, the other one also gets a dodge or an aim. And so don't forget, Jyn's got the ability to give herself a dodge and an aim for a single action. So she can directly buff up another unit and accept buffs from that other unit as well. This will actually be pretty good if you combo it with Leia. I don't know if you'll want to run a dual commanders, but I could see this being a thing where Jyn teams up with Leia. and like Jyn does aim and dodge. Okay, boom. And then Leia's like, oh, okay, we'll take cover. We each get a dodge, and then we each give each other a dodge from that. Like, tremendous survivability this way. It'd be pretty cool. Like maybe it's overkill. Maybe you don't need to do quite that much, but pretty good stuff. So Jyn gains Inspire 2. Again, also, and Leia has Inspire 2, so you really get rid of a ton of suppression. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. I'm thinking about Jyn and Leia now, running them together. But yeah, when a friendly trooper is issued an order, they gain teamwork. Jyn Erso. Let's see when she issues the order to another friendly trooper, and I guess that's the important distinction, because I read it wrong for a second there, and I was thinking, boy, what about HQ uplink? On a turret or something like that. Like then you could potentially have like tons of teamwork. So it's when she issues them the order. So I don't think there's any way to get around this. She's only giving the teamwork ability to one other unit. Even if you got somebody else that can get an order, issue it to themselves or something like that. Unless there's a way to make sure that Jyn is the one issuing it the order, they're not going to gain it. There may be something out there eventually to give her an extra ability to issue another order, but it doesn't seem that way. So that's pretty cool. And she's getting Inspire 2. Solid, good in certain cases, and it's not bad. And her number one, her One-pip, Rebellious. She's knocking that trooper down. Okay, Jyn Erso gains Charge. Jyn Erso. Did I say Erso? Erso? Whatever. However you want to pronounce it, it's fine with me. She's going to gain Charge. Charge is a great ability. Again, it gives you a free melee attack after you do a move. Once per round, when an enemy unit at range 1 to 2 and in line of sight of Jyn Erso activates, before it performs its rally step, so like right away, Jyn Erso may gain a suppression token to either perform an attack against that unit or perform a free move action. Okay, there's a lot going on here, so I'm going to break this down for you. First off, she gains Charge. Remember that. Once per round, when an enemy unit at range 1 to 2 and in line of sight of Jyn activates, before it performs its rally step, she can shoot at him or move. And she gains a suppression when she does this. So this is good for a number of reasons. And I'm actually kind of glad this is only once per round, because otherwise it would be like pinball insanity. She can do, basically, she can move in. She can move. If they're within range 1 to 2 of her, they might just be in range for her to move, and because she has Charge. So she can just run right up to you, whack you with the tonfa before you even rally. So before you don't get to attack her first. Okay? And now you have an extra suppression. Now, the good thing is that tonfa that she has, it's suppressive before you do your rally step. So you will get a chance to roll off that particular suppression that gives you as well. Or maybe she'll just, ranged attack you. She does have Pierce 1. So it really depends. Do you want 3 dice or 4 dice against them? Or if it's a full health unit, then maybe, like, especially if it's like a unit of like 5 troopers, that's a really good opportunity to like say, you know what, instead, what I'll do is I'll move in, I'll engage you, I'll roll my 4 black dice, maybe I kill 3 or 4 of your guys, but the one guy still left alive can't do a whole lot, all right? And it's suppressive, so maybe you even only get 1 action, or maybe you panic or something like that. But the cool thing, what I think is great about this is now she's engaged, right? And the free move action doesn't have to be against that unit either. That's the other thing. Like maybe a unit has already gone. This is once per round. Maybe your Darth Vader is, or maybe your Palpatine is going to shock her. All right, and she's just in range, and she's like, "Oh no, I'll move this way." She backs away and into like some Royal Guard that have already gone, and then she melee attacks them, and now she's out of range. Palpatine can't get to her now. So this can be used in so many different ways. She can shoot before you get to do anything. It's pretty nice. She can move before you get to do anything. And it's because she has Charge. When she moves, she can shoot. A lot of ways. You can charge the unit that's getting ready to activate. You can charge a different unit, or you can just move just out of sight. If she's low on health, maybe you just want her to move out of sight. You could potentially do that too. Obviously, it's the most efficient to charge somebody and attack them because you're going to get the most dice out of your melee attack, and you're gaining Charge, so you might as well take use of Charge. Now, the cool thing is, if she hasn't activated already, you can use Charge potentially 2 times. So Now, if she does the ranged attack, if she does the attack against that unit, it has to be against that unit. So she, like, if I activate Jyn first and I move into attack, I move in and I charge and I attack this other unit, but I don't kill them, I'm still engaged with them, and then some other unit activates, only thing I could do here is attack that unit or move. If I'm engaged with a different unit, I can't do either of those. So ideally, I can see this being one of those times where you give Jyn her face-up order token, but maybe you just say, you know what, I don't think I want to attack. I don't want to activate her just yet. I'll wait, let her do her free rebellious thing, boom, 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 boom. And of course, she's going to be able to deploy anywhere, right? We didn't even talk about that yet. Did we talk about that yet? Infiltrate. I didn't even talk about infiltrate. You may deploy anywhere beyond range 3 of all enemy units. And that is where that card, I think, is going to be so dominant. Because you can, especially if you win, if you get to deploy first, so now bids may really become a thing, you can, like it's going to, I think it really can factor in with this. I'll put myself right in the middle of your deployment zone. And I'm going to play this one-pip first. Okay? Now, and granted, you're probably going to lose your commander. But if you got 2 commanders, maybe you can afford that. It might just be fun. I think this is going to be something super fun to do. I'm not sure how competitive it's going to be because I could lose my commander like pretty quickly. But I could potentially put my commander into a melee with another unit, making them moderately safe. And maybe I don't lose my commander quickly. A lot of it depends on where in the deployment area you do set her up. If you have other pathfinders that you can potentially get kind of close enough to her to to go in and support her. This is going to change games. This is going to be wild. I'm not sure how I feel about being able to deploy anywhere. That might actually take a little bit of strategy away from the game. But a card like this is at least going to make it fun. And I think fun is worthwhile. So we'll see. We'll see how fun it is. But let me know what you guys think of Jyn. This has been a pretty cool preview. There's a lot of stuff that they gave us here. And that probably means that Jyn and the Pathfinders are coming out sooner rather than later. It looks like we'll probably get Jyn and the Pathfinders later this month. We'll probably have a Pathfinders preview soon. And we'll have Jyn and Pathfinders. And then maybe in March we'll get Krennic and Death Troopers, I'm guessing. That seems to go the way that they've been going. So save your Valentine's Day money because Jyn's going to come take you out for dinner for Valentine's. And it won't end the way you think because you're going to get suppressed. All right, that's the dumbest thing I think I've said in a long time. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I want to thank you all so much for watching and have a great day.